Okay, well, this is a heartbreaking one. Now, sometimes you get channels that you kind of like and you become so used to, and then they just go away. And this has actually happened once with these caricatures. These really awesome UK, I think Brits, you know, gamer people. This channel I really, really liked for a long freaking time, and they announced just recently that they're stopping this channel. Now, I'm sure they'll make more stuff, but I came to really like this channel, and it was this very whimsical, peaceful type people who made this really excellent, show. And isn't it tragedy that you get scumbags like Logan Paul and that I Dubs dude, and like the H3H, all these scumbags, Dr. Disrespect, Paris Hilton, all these absolute trash people who get ahead in life, and then you get awesome people like this that just don't make it. And it's just so tragic. And these guys, I've come to really like these dudes. They're really cool dudes, and they just, the way they announce it, you can tell that they're really gutted and ceasing operations. And it's just the way that it went down. It just totally took me off guard. Now, you can see that a lot of their videos did not get many views at all. 3.8K. Some of these videos I had more views than, and I fucking just post the most random bullshit ever. I know the algorithm fucking hates me, and I don't give a shit because what I do for YouTube, I just make shit that comes into my head, and I just said I'm not doing this to try and make a living. I mean, certainly that would be nice out of, but I do this just as a creative outlet, and it sucks when you see people who actually tried to financially make something of this, and did rely on it financially. It's like a layoff basically. How YouTube is the way it is, and I would encourage you to go check out their channel because there are all so many great videos on it. I think they have like what 1.9K view videos. Some of their most popular things, like, look at this, 5 years ago 4.3 million. It really looked like it was taking off years ago. 2.7 million. It's proof that you cannot rely on a million view channel. If you're not in the couple million range, there's a good chance you're not making a living off of it. It all depends on your views and how much you get, how much ad revenue, and your Patreon, and all these things that people rely on for, like, to make a living off of making. Like, I mean, isn't that just the dream? But YouTube has appeared to become a channel that is very non-consumer friendly. I know personally from experience. I mean, you should see some of this shit on my fucking channel. I mean, I swear I post all kinds of random bullshit, and you can tell that the algorithm just hates you. I mean, it just actively does not want you to succeed. It doesn't show your videos to, like, a lot of people. I mean, sure, I've got fans and close to 1,000 subs, but really, there's hundreds of millions of people that use YouTube, and you can look at some of the top, just homepage without your own algorithm. If you just sign out of YouTube and you go to the main page, that's what they're showing. And it's just garbage. It's some rich woman in her $1 million mansion, showing off her booty shorts, and it's like got like 5 million views. And just the garbage that is becomes successful on YouTube, it's mind-boggling, and you really got to ask how they do it. How do they determine who gets views and not? I mean, obviously someone has to click on your video and that, but when they're not even showing your view videos, when they're not even attempting to let normal people succeed, thousands and thousands and thousands of YouTube channels are created every single day, and majority of YouTube channels will never even get more than 100 views. As crazy as that, or even people won't even attempt to even make a YouTube channel after 5 or 10 videos of getting 0 views. Basically they'll just give up. And I mean, that's been the thing with my channel, is that I'm never going to stop making videos. I know people hate me, some out there. I just like the idea of having myself on the internet. There's just something cool about it, what if someone comes across this video in 10 years and is just like, oh hey, this guy's cool, like the thing, that can happen. So I mean, I have made videos from a long time ago, 16-year-old videos that I just put on the internet because I thought it was a cool idea. I obviously stopped through my hardcore party phase where I was fucking I was just partying like an animal for like 10 years straight. I'd never posted any videos, so you see a big gap in that. But I mean, you you have to really feel for these guys because they were making a living out of this, and I think they were supported by this other cultaholic channel. And Ashton doesn't seem so as concerned about it, but you can tell Ben and Peter are really kind of hurt by this because they've had so much successes on YouTube, but yet YouTube is like, it's not a friendly platform. It's not friendly for anybody to just be like, hey, I want to create a YouTube channel and be a rich YouTuber. It just, you're thinking about like the 0.00001% of channels that will become successful from that. And that's a shame because it's supposed to be this like platform that anybody can just, be creative and put whatever they want on there. But when YouTube is so viciously against things and how and I've seen this with my own channel, is that it appears as if there's some force working against you out there. It feels as if YouTube has put a code in there somewhere that really tries to demoralize and break you as a person. And maybe that's the reason why so many channels just stop doing it, is because they want to make it seem like it's impossible, but yet YouTube will go and support people like Speed and Kaisenat, who are criminals, have done criminal shit, and and porn stars and stuff, and they'll do that. So there's something very wrong with YouTube, which is sad because it's the biggest video platform there is, and I just feel so bad for these guys because they really were trying to make it work, and they just couldn't. And it wasn't feasible anymore. And who knows what will happen? You know, uh, it's the end of Triple Jump, and man, I've loved this channel, and watching it through the pandemic, it's just such a they're so whimsical, and everything's so peaceful and gamey, and they're non-confront. They're not like me. I'm just a fucking absolute asshole troll who goes around the internet and fucking tells everybody to fuck off. They're nice people, and to see this happen to nice people is very, I don't know, it's very nasty that YouTube does this to people. And I don't know, they're still gonna do stuff. They got worse games. I would encourage you to go check out their stuff. It's cool. They've got great videos on there. Here's all their ats. I'm gonna link their channel below, link this video below, and just go check it out, because who knows, maybe their channel will become million channel or whatever. And I hope all the best for all three of them, because they're all really nice people, and this world this world doesn't appreciate nice people. You know what I mean? It's like you got the asshole CEO making millions of dollars a year who just like spits on homeless people, and then you got the guy working the soup kitchens, and he's barely gets by on rent. It's this world is a cruel place, man, and it's just sad that more people who want to be something can't. And this world has a way of making people who are good people um, really down on themselves, and I don't think that's right, and it sucks. But I mean, that's just the nature of life. I mean, so they put out this thing on obviously a lot of outcrying from the community, but I mean, you got to think of that 314,000 subs in the grand scheme of the world and YouTube. I mean, here, let's see some facts. How many YouTube channels less than 500K? It's difficult to get the exact number of channels with fewer than 5,000 subscribers, as there's no public data. The YouTube channels, however, data shows the vast majority of YouTube channels are small, with 96.6% having less than 10,000 subs. I love how that just automatically defaulted, even though I had it on loop to a different song. But yeah, I mean, that is the true essence of YouTube, is that like you got like so many channels under 10,000 subscribers, and basically every single channel out there is going to be quote unquote a nobody forever. And I don't know, it's yeah, just 3% of channels are over 500,000 subscribers, which is crazy. Millions of channels are over 1,000 subscribers. Estimates suggest there are 10 millions of channels. So I'm not even in the 10 million of subs. And most channels are going to get absolutely nothing. And that they do that for a reason. They want to make it so that if they don't deem your content is right, they'll just put you way at the bottom. So, I mean, yeah, that is what it is. And that's just the way YouTube is. It's just a bitch. It'll, how many channels on YouTube made a day? How many YouTube channels made a day? YouTube receives millions of new uploads daily, but the exact number of new channels reach public available. TikTok reports 3.7 million videos are uploaded a day. That's fucking ridiculous. That's absolutely fucking ridiculous. So, I don't know. It is 5 billion videos. It's an everyday occurrence for channels like these to just end up at the bottom. And, with there being so many channels out there and just millions of channels made a day, probably. It's like YouTube has truly made it so that it's impossible to get ahead, so to speak. And a lot of those channels, believe it or not, those aren't gamer dudes making interesting videos in Western society. A lot of those channels are like from a dude in India just uploading a random shit. And there's like billions of those. So I mean, YouTube has created an ecosystem where yes, you can get ahead, but your chances of doing so are like 0.00001%. So it's like it's like the lottery. I mean, it literally is like the lottery. And you can see on your channel how, I mean, I've seen this for years of just like, I'll post an interesting video, I get like, 5,000 views or something. but majority of my videos are just nothing. And I would never want to rely on YouTube as an income stream because the chances of you making it on YouTube are basically zero. And these poor people, man, now have to find another way to make a living because their, parent channel has dropped them. Um, yeah, it's insane. And the statistics, the higher you go, the just crazier it gets. Millions of channels are just gonna be nothing forever. And YouTube wants to make it that way. They don't want to make this free platform where everybody can make a buck because they want to keep that money for themselves. And they'll only promote material they deem worthy. And how they determine what's worthy is not fully known. But what's true is that they do post, they do promote a lot of just garbage out there. They do promote a lot of, already rich people showing off their rich entitled lives. We don't know why they do that. I mean, there's a lot of people who go on social media just to see people who have these extravagant lives. So, I mean, maybe that's what it's all about. But yeah, it sucks to see a fellow YouTubers just not really make it. And, it sucks to see such good people shamed by things. When you have fuckers like Kais and that, and, what some of the Paul brothers, just think of all the scumbags who have made money on YouTube. And then there's good people like this who don't. It's a piss off, but I mean that's our world for you. Our world is not a nice place, and it's tragic to see Triple Jump no longer posting videos. And it goes to show that when you get 5 million views, it's not always going to be there forever. It's not doesn't mean if you get up to 1 million views doesn't mean you're suddenly famous. Um, fame is very subjective. Do you want to be? What do you want to be famous for? Making video game videos online, or do you want to be famous for some cultural revolution, or do you want to be famous as a great actor? Obviously, some people are just never gonna make it, and yeah, such a tragedy, man. I wish I could slip these guys like each a couple mil and just allow them to just keep making this and not have to worry about work, not worry about their finances. It's such a fucking tragedy, man. Absolute fucking tragedy. But yeah, I mean that's the way the cookie crumbles. It's not a easy world, that's for sure. Look at this dickhead. He's trying to give him tips. 50,000 subscribers. Yeah, yeah. I don't know. There are people out there who and look at this garbage. This is the type of garbage that YouTube promotes. Just absolute drivel. Just pure unbridled garbage. And there is a lot of that on YouTube. Trust me. Because there's just a lot of brain rot in the world. And man, some people are just fucking retarded. And they want to just watch retarded ass shit. But this is a channel I thought for a long time was very smart, very intelligent, very, very cool. Told a lot of great things. These were very entertaining people, and they just never made it. And I hope the best for them, and I hope they keep making stuff. But they clearly tried, and when you try with YouTube, it's just not going to work. Whereas unfortunately, just absolute garbage somehow makes it on this platform, and that's just the way the world is. Sometimes garbage people get ahead in our world, and sometimes really cool, awesome people like Triple Jump, don't. And it's a fucking tragedy, but it's the way the world works. So yeah, go check out Triple Jump and fucking, who knows? Maybe they'll start getting ridiculous amount of views and it'll come back. One can hope.